Welcome, everybody, to the People's Wrestling Podcast. My name is Kimball Skills.
And I'm Aerodynamics.
And tonight we're going to discuss Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live of the week of May 25th, 2017. I gotta say, man, Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live, they were pretty solid shows. Monday Night Raw in particular, I'd say it was a pretty decent show. I think it was a little bit better than last week's Raw, but it's still tough getting through these 3 hours, man.
Yeah, it's always tough getting through 3 hours of Raw. My biggest thing is I just feel like Raw a lot of times has very limited direction, where I just feel like a lot of things, like a lot of the matches that happen on Raw don't actually mean anything. They just kind of happen in order to feel like 3 hours. Whereas SmackDown generally tends to be enjoyable, and it seems like every match has some type of stakes to it. Like there's a purpose behind those matches that you can kind of get behind. So, but let's get into this Monday Night Raw recap.
All right, Monday Night Raw started off with Bray Wyatt coming out addressing the match at Extreme Rules. He was talking about how he is the only one who's capable of slaying the beast Brock Lesnar. We all know how that happened about last year, I guess. He tried to face him before.
People forget about Brock Lesnar, pretty much destroying the whole Wyatt family. But,
he might have a little more edge to him now. Now he doesn't have the family who Brock Lesnar completely destroyed, including him, but
and Braun Strowman.
And Braun Strowman. We're not going to dive into that a little too much because, that's in the past and we're moving forward to hopefully a positive future for Bray Wyatt. But here he cut a pretty decent promo. His promos to start, it had like a little repetitiveness to it, but he's starting to change up how the way he delivers them now. But you can pretty much tell when it's a Bray Wyatt promo. Roman Reigns comes out to a mixed reaction. You can tell the women still love him despite the men booing him. Also, he comes out doing his usual stick of how, this is his yard now. He's the big dog. He's the only person that can take down Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, the property disputes getting pretty tough, dealing with Roman Reigns now.
Yeah, I can tell, man. I don't know where they're building to, but apparently Kurt Angle comes out addressing the situation between the two and the Extreme Rules match between Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, and Finn Balor, and leading to a match set up between Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt to start off the night. What are your thoughts on this match, man? Did it do anything for you?
No, I mean, it was one of those things where it started off pretty decent. Like, it started off as a good match, but per his, normal stick, Samoa Joe interrupted, which I don't know why. Apparently, whoever is writing and, creative, I don't understand why they feel like Samoa Joe's only thing that he can do now is just run in and interrupt matches. Like, that's his gimmick now.
That's not cool, man.
his gimmick is interrupting matches. So, of course, Samoa Joe comes in, interrupts the match, makes it seem like he's attacking Roman, and then locks Bray. Tries to lock Roman in a Coquina clutch, but Roman escapes, only to eventually lock Bray into the Coquina clutch. And then you have Seth Rollins comes in and interrupts the match. And this leads to a tag team match. Teddy Long is still alive in the WWE. Holla holla. We got a tag team match for the main event.
And who did not see that coming? Like, really? Every time it enters a disqualification match where you have a man a multi-man contender match at a pay-per-view is gonna lead to a tag team match. So I'm not surprised. Roman Reigns won by disqualification, of course, leading to a match later that night, which kind of made me think that this was a waste of time. Why didn't you just book a tag team match between those four anyway?
Hey man, they gotta have a build up, even if it is only 2 hours and 20 minutes before the actual match.
Yeah, but do you have people even hyped up for this match when you
No,
have two of the contenders already fighting at the beginning of the show and they're fighting again at the end of the show?
I was gonna say I would have been more excited if the teams that they would have set up would have been like Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, or like Samoa
Yeah.
Joe and Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, something like that. That would have been interesting at the very least. But we got boring faces, well, kind of faces when you throw Roman in there versus kind of heels because people love Bray Wyatt regardless. So it's just kind of like, eh. But what happened after that? What was next on the menu of Raw?
Next was a cruiserweight matchup between Arya Davari and Akira Tozawa. Um, Typical cruiserweight match for a Monday Night Raw, but I'm actually pretty fond of Akira Tozawa. I think he's one of those guys to look out for in the cruiserweight division, and his style is pretty different from the rest of them.
Akira Tozawa is the man, and that top rope senton that he did, he got so much freaking air on that thing, man. Like I haven't seen somebody jump that high in a while, and that one had to hurt. I was gonna say Navarro's probably hurt off of that.
Yeah, when he did that senton off the top rope and fell on him, like you hear the impact.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, I think that's a move he can continue to use it, and I don't think he'll be too taxing to his body for doing it unless of course, he missed.
Yeah.
But that quick German suplex that he does, that thing is a killer too.
Oh yeah.
But Akira Tozawa, he won us by pinfall. Of course, Brian Kendrick was looking on backstage. Um, Apparently, they had a street fight on 205 Live. I don't really watch 205 Live, but I'm pretty sure that was at least a decent match if it includes Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have to go back and watch the street fight myself just because when I tried to watch 205 Live, the network started acting up, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go and watch something else. But yeah, so the street fight was probably good. Hopefully that's not their blow off, and hopefully they get a match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view between Tozawa and Kendrick, because their feud on 205 Live has actually been pretty good. It's probably one of the best feuds going that's actually in any of the WWE's products so far. So they have a good feud.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually a feud that it's kind of been it's there, but it's kind of been like pushed to the wayside. Like it really doesn't matter who wins this feud. Are they elevating anywhere? Like, does whoever wins get a title shot or something, or is it they just feuding?
They just angry, but I
No.
mean it's doing some good. It really is bringing out a lot of Tozawa's character, and I feel like it's kind of distinguishing him more so from any of the other Asian superstars in the WWE right now. Just because I feel like out of all of them, like for instance, Shinsuke definitely has a personality, but I feel like his personality is more of a mystique. I feel like Tozawa more so has a full personality. Like you kind of get who he is, and he speaks probably the best English out of all of the Asian superstars in the WWE as of right now. So
I agree. The next is the debut of Elias Sampson, the Drifter.
The
And
Drifter.
he goes against Dean Ambrose with Miz and Maurice on commentary.
Yeah, the moment I was like, I knew this match was going to end in a disqualification. But I was like, I was actually pretty happy. You know, they let the Drifter get in. You know, some good offense in the match. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, what his ceiling is going to be as far as in the WWE. But I was glad he finally debuted tonight because I was wondering how long it was going to finally be before we saw him.
Yeah, it's I know he was in NXT, but I never really seen his matches for real. And what I saw tonight with Ambrose, I was actually pretty impressed. That high knee when Ambrose came off the top rope, that jump was good.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah, that dude knocked Ambrose completely out, but Ambrose, he's tough. Of course, he got up, and as you said, in it by disqualification, but in a way you really didn't expect, because the Miz actually attacked Sampson and made cost Ambrose the match. And for the Miz, that's actually a move he would do. He wouldn't go in and attack Dean Ambrose. He will make sure Dean Ambrose gets humiliated in some type of way. And I think this was effective for both their feud, Miz and Ambrose, and also protected Elias Sampson as well.
Yeah, and especially since their match leading up to the pay-per-view is their match at the pay-per-view is going to be if Dean Ambrose gets disqualified, the title can change hands. So that stipulation, they kind of showed that a little bit there with the Miz attacking Elias Sampson, getting Dean Ambrose disqualified. So it's going to be interesting to see if the WWE is going to go with with the typical spot that you can predict in the pay-per-view match of Maurice slapping the Miz to get disqualified in order for Miz to win the title. We'll see if they'll go that route or not.
Yeah. My prediction is the Miz is probably going to win that IC championship. Because if not, he won't have a story to go to after this. So I think it'll be a good idea to actually put the belt on the Miz. And plus, he's the most consistent IC champion I've seen in this past year or two with WWE.
I can agree to that.
All right. Next on the card, we have Finn Balor taking on Carl Anderson.
Well, I was about to say, before you had that, you got to kind of acknowledge the big, pretty much Paul Heyman coming out there.
I got you.
and pretty much, giving Finn Balor the royal, you're the best person in the WWE treatment. Essentially, like that's probably like the biggest ego stroke I've seen Paul Heyman give anyone ever. Without it being
that Roman Reigns thing.
True. I was like, but I feel like this without there being like a but Brock Lesnar is going to kill you type thing that comes afterwards. Normally he tends to throw that one in there, but it was more so we just look forward to the challenge. So part of me either feels like this is WWE essentially telegraphing that Finn is going to win at Extreme Rules, or WWE trying to set up for a big swerve if somebody else wins. So personally, in my opinion, I feel like the two favorites to win this match is either going to be Finn or Bray Wyatt, but I'm not exactly sure who they're going to choose in this matter, because personally, I don't think Finn should go up against Brock Lesnar, especially because he's going to lose. So it's one of those things of I don't want to see Finn go and get jobbed out to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen.
So that's why I was kind of like, I'd rather it be Bray Wyatt. Granted, I don't want to see Bray get jobbed out either, but I at least feel like they could do something interesting in that storyline with Bray that can be a little bit more believable than Finn. Just because I don't know, I still personally just don't see the matchup between Bray Wyatt and Finn, like showing Finn putting up a decent fight. I mean, I guess they can do speed versus power, but I don't know. But
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
But yeah, so like you said though, after the big hand job from Paul Heyman, you had Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson.
It was actually kind of weird watching Balor go against Anderson while Gallows was on ringside.
Yeah.
Because of their history. But I thought this was just a way to get Finn Balor over based on what Paul Heyman did prior to this match.
Mm-hmm.
But a typical Finn Balor match. He uses what I say the 5 moves of the demon. Missile drop kick, maybe a suplex, another missile drop kick, sling blade,
missile drop kick in the corner,
drop kick corner,
coup de grace,
and maybe a suicide dive outside the ring or over a top rope dive. But that's the moves of Finn Balor.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
You're going to see about 20 missile drop kicks, about 10 dives, 30 sling blades, and 1 coup de grace. But, of course, with all that being said, Finn Balor won.
Yep.
Next up is Alicia Fox taking on Sasha Banks for the 3rd time. And before we get into this, I must say that I've really enjoyed Booker T on commentary. He is possibly one of my favorite wrestling characters, especially on the commentary booth. I honestly want him to stay on and David Otunga to stay away. But we all know that always got to come to the end because Booker T is a very busy man.
Yep.
But, what did you think about this match, man?
It was, once again, kind of a quick match. Still kind of mad that Sasha still not winning with the bank statement. She's kind of been using double. I don't know. I think it annoys me like when a move that hasn't been your finisher ever just kind of starts turning into a finisher. Like, because I was like, literally, Charlotte has probably eaten like 30 double knees off of turnbuckles, off of aprons, off of turnbuckles, off the apron. Like, she's eaten a double knee in almost any like type of form that she possibly can and has never been pinned by one. And so it's just, I don't know if they're saying that Alicia Fox is so much weaker that all it takes is the double knees for her to, eat the pin or what. But after the match, a little drama ensued, consisting of Noam Dar, which led to Alicia Fox standing tall after a scissors kick.
Yeah.
Which glad the scissor kick is still around. I kind of hate that her scissor kick, she always does it to someone's back instead of like not their neck.
Yeah, I don't like her scissors kick.
It's like, I like the scissor kick still exists. I just hate where she aims. But then again, it looks like she does use a lot of force when she does her. So maybe they don't want to have her doing it too close to someone's neck and, taking them out.
But how is it supposed to hurt somebody though? Like, if you're hitting them in the back like that, how is it supposed to knock them out for you to get a pin?
I don't know, like, cause she aims like right in like mid spine area, so it's just kind of like.
Are you there, bro? Can you hear me? It looks like your mic is muted, bro. people, I think we lost aerodynamic. Trying to get him back on right now. It appears his mic is off. Trying to send a message to let him know. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Got a little interrupted.
Oh. I got you, man. I didn't know what happened. But
We still
goes.
We still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, definitely I don't see where it's definitely that impactful being like in the middle of the back. And then of course when Booker T used to do his, you know, he used to dress it up, used to hit them. And then you also had R-Truth when he used to do a scissors kick. He definitely dressed it up a little bit more. So, you know, she got some work to do on her scissors kick.
Yeah, definitely. Well, she's been doing it for a while, and
yeah,
I don't know. It just for people like Booker T and R-Truth to be using it before, you know, her, like, I think she can put just a little bit more flair into it. Because sometimes, like I said, it doesn't look like it could really knock somebody out. And now that double knees that Sasha Banks does, it can really knock somebody out. And I'm thinking the only reason why they pushing that move like they're doing is because it actually injured Emma at a live event.
true.
And maybe they think it's a lot more devastating of a move to use. So
yeah, you know, taking advantage of, you know, Emma's injury, you know, taking a negative turn into a positive.
yeah. But I do have to say that when she slapped Noam Dar after the match, that was the hardest slap I ever seen somebody get hit. She slapped the shit out of him, bro.
Oh yeah. Like I'm pretty sure he was like sitting there. He probably went to the back and was like, "Damn, Sasha."
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm sure he got to recover from that one. Next was I think it was a backstage segment between Callisto and Apollo Crews. I'm guessing leading to a match with them later on that evening.
Yeah.
And then there was a promo cut by Goldust, kind of reliving his old Shattered Dreams gimmick. And I gotta say, bro, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was pretty much good. And I was like, that's definitely one I'm gonna go back and revisit because I feel like I was like not paying attention at the time. So I was like, I feel like I need to go back and fully appreciate that promo. Well, the video vignette / promo. But I was like, I need to go back and look at it, man. Especially if you know this is gonna kind of be like a last push type hurrah for Goldust. Definitely want, you know, get him in style.
If he goes to that point of how he used to be, I'm actually very, very interested on, is he gonna bring back the wig? Is he gonna do the trickery in the ring? Is he gonna be a little more vicious? Like, if he's gonna go out and possibly end his career like this, then I would like for him to be that type of Goldust.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. What's next? We have a match between Callisto and Apollo Crews with Titus O'Neil at ringside.
I just kind of hated the way this match finished. With the fact of you got Titus yelling "sick 'em," so essentially getting him confused. So he then eats a Solito del Sol and loses the match. But it was funny.
That was funny. Sicko! Sicko! Yeah, that was pretty funny, man.
Oh man.
I'm actually liking that duo between Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. I think they can really make something work with that.
Oh yeah, they definitely can.
All right, next is winner choose Extreme Rules stipulation. Matt Hardy with Jeff at ringside versus Sheamus with Cesaro at ringside. I'm tired of these matches already, bro.
Yeah, I was like, at least this one had stakes this time, but I wish they could have found another way to do it. Something a little bit more creative. But
The Hardys continue to win, though.
yeah, that's very true. I was surprised that the stipulation wasn't like a TLC match or something like that, but we got a cage match, so that'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty sure we can expect a Swanton or Whisper in the Wind attempt from Jeff Hardy off the top of the cage.
Ooh, if he can make it.
Yeah.
But what I really think they should have did with this is that they should have had Sheamus and Cesaro cheat to win this match, so they can get the stipulation, because lately, like, they've been feuding for 2 pay-per-views now, and it doesn't seem like they've gotten any steam other than when they beat on the Hardys after they lost their championship match. You gotta get some type of heat on Cesaro and Sheamus unless you're going to put the belts on them real quick, which I doubt, because the Hardys been dominating. I'm just a little confused on where they're trying to go with this. What's the point of turning Cesaro and Sheamus heel if you're gonna have them lose in the same fashion they lost in the last pay-per-view when they were faces?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a plan later on. We'll just have to see what happens.
But Matt Hardy wins with the twist of fate. It's always good to see a twist of fate from Matt Hardy, as he made that move quite popular over the years.
Oh yeah, I say good to see somebody winning with a traditional move from back in the day.
Yeah, especially from the guy who definitely made it popular. Next is another cruiserweight match. Tony Nese with Neville at ringside versus Austin Aries.
Poor Tony Nese, man.
I know, man.
Just like Tony Nese, like all he wants to do is be great, and all he does week by week is get jobbed out to essentially other superstars. Like I swear, I feel like every single time he's on 205 Live every single week, and all he does is get jobbed out. Every now and then he'll beat Mustafa Ali, but for the most part, he's getting jobbed out.
And his physique is on par with Neville's.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't understand why he doesn't,
And he has a hella good moveset too.
Yeah.
Like, I know they like to keep him doing a lot of ground and pound, but he can do like some high flying stuff too. Like, he's actually very good. So I'd definitely like to see them do something with him, because especially like if he shows up in a match on Monday Night Raw, I know he's about to get jobbed out. There's almost no question about it. He is about to lose.
And it feels like he got jobbed out twice in this match.
Yes, because one, he tapped out to the last chancery and then got locked in the rings of Saturn after the match. Like, damn, like give Tony Nese a break, man.
Yeah, he was actually one of the better cruiserweights that were in the classic. But I guess his time isn't coming yet, unless they turn babyface against Neville. But I'm pretty sure they may be giving the belt to Austin Aries pretty soon, because they can't keep feuding with this and it not turning into something.
True.
Next, we have Alexa Bliss in action against Mickie James. I don't think this match was very necessary, other than to add more to the stipulation of the kendo stick.
Yeah, that was about it. There's really kind of nothing much more to add there.
Alexa Bliss wins, y'all. With a weak DDT, she really needs to change that finisher. It doesn't have that impact, man. Even though it's Alexa Bliss. What are you saying, bro?
I was gonna say, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like the move is a powerful move. Like somebody spiking you on your head, that should keep you out for a 3 count. But when everybody just uses it as kind of like just a middle of the bout move to kind of give you a false finish, yeah, I can definitely see where it doesn't seem as strong. Like it's almost like she needs some type of window dressing to it to kind of like how Bobby Roode does the Impaler DDT, the
Yeah.
execution, the glorious DDT. Then Dean Ambrose, Dirty Deeds with the double underhook DDT. It's like she kind of needs something like, even for instance, even like the Miz when he does his little DDT, like there's some stank on it. Like
Yeah.
she just kind of grabs him and just kind of drops. Like she needs some type of stank on it. I don't know what she could do to kind of add to it, but she needs a little something. Maybe she'll figure it out, or maybe not. Personally, I feel like if she's gonna use it, I feel like she should use the DDT as kind of like the move leading into her doing her move Twisted Bliss off the top rope.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was originally her finisher when she first came in.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if she's gonna wants the DDT to kind of be one of her signatures, I at least feel like it should lead into her doing the Twisted Bliss.
Well, with high flying moves like that, sometimes they feel like people backstage may feel like that's a babyface type of finisher. Maybe she needs something quick to knock out her opponent.
True.
You know how Neville is.
Yeah.
With the red arrow, he'll pull it out if he desperately needs it to win a match. But otherwise, he won't.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely feel that.
Next is the main event: Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Typical tag team match for a main event of Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
There was some good spots in this match. It's always good to see Samoa Joe in the ring. He's a very good heel. He's brutal. Teamed up with Bray Wyatt, they actually make a nice tag team if they ever go down that route one day. Of course, we've seen Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins team up plenty of times, especially against the feud with Jericho and Owens. So there's nothing new there. There was a little dissension towards the end between Reigns and Rollins, but it seems like Samoa Joe actually got a submission fall victory at the end against Seth Rollins.
Yep. Made him go to sleep.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for Monday Night Raw. After recapping it really wasn't that spectacular of a show. I mean, there was some highlights here and there, but it's pretty much the same thing from Monday Night Raw. So
yeah, but a lot of the same type of matches, same type things happen. Nothing really hyping their feuds. Yeah, but on the SmackDown Live.
Yep. Which I can honestly say, much better show than Monday Night Raw.
Much better show than Monday Night Raw.
All right.
So
what you about to say, bro?
I was gonna say, let's get the show started.
Yeah, man.
So you start the show off with the backstage showing of the Maharaja. Arriving in the arena with the biggest win face ever. Like complete motorcade. I actually saw something where somebody posted. They was like, Jinder's getting a major push when he gets Triple H's WrestleMania entrance on SmackDown. So
yep.
So I was like, they went all out for Jinder this episode. But after Jinder, you had Shane McMahon coming to the ring, announcing that Randy Orton was going to be invoking his rematch clause during Money in the Bank. So him versus Jinder at Money in the Bank. And then he begins to announce the participants for the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
And so you had AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and then Kevin Owens comes out to be told that he will not be in the Money in the Bank match, but the artist Shinsuke Nakamura came out being a participant. But after some begging and pleading for Kevin Owens, he was then added to the match. So,
which is weird.
which is, I know we talked about this earlier. Like, that's always one of my pet peeves. I hate when you have a champion, someone who's already champion in the Money in the Bank match, because I feel like it deprives the pay-per-view of another title match that could have occurred on the show. So that's always one of my pet peeves. But at the same time, it's Kevin Owens, and this is probably going to be the most star-studded, stacked, most talented Money in the Bank match that they ever had. So I'm expecting this to be freaking amazing.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that they added Kevin Owens to the match, but I guess they needed that star power.
I was personally expecting that. I was personally expecting it to be Rusev. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be a returning Rusev being added to the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah,
but that didn't happen.
I was surprised to see AJ Styles in that Money in the Bank ladder match. To be completely honest,
It did. Well, once he announced that Randy Orton was going to be invoking his rematch clause at Money in the Bank, it made sense. And the fact that the way that the United States Championship match ended between Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, like, it's kind of like everybody in the match already kind of has a beef/history with one another. So it's kind of like built-in feuds within the Money in the Bank match. I guess my only concern is, besides the inevitable tag team match that's going to happen, I don't know what kind of tag team match is going to be, but besides that inevitable match, as well as a women's championship match, what else are they going to use to fill the card for that pay-per-view? That's kind of my only concern, because literally all of your biggest stars are in the same match. So now it's kind of like, what are you going to use to fill the rest of the card to that pay-per-view?
Unless they pull a match out of their butt somehow, or have two women's matches, unless this Money in the Bank match is an hour long.
Now, see, I've heard rumor that there's a possibility that there's going to be a woman's Money in the Bank match. I don't know how true that is, but I hear that they are planning on pulling the trigger on that. So if that does happen, then it makes sense. That in my opinion, that would make sense why they can put all those male competitors, like all the major stars, in one match, and them not be worried about filling the card. So if you're going to have a women's Money in the Bank match as well as a men's Money in the Bank match, then that's okay, and I will be perfectly fine. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm gonna be like, SmackDown, y'all got some splaining to
do. Yeah, definitely. If they're going to pull the trigger on that, then I guess whoever wins this match next week with the women, which we'll discuss later, I guess they're going to have that Money in the Bank match plus that match as well. That would definitely add to the card. But to fill up 2 hours, I'm guessing that Money in the Bank match is going to have to be at least 30 to 40 minutes long.
Yep. But what's next after this segment?
Talking about the women, you have a tag team match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte against Natalya and Carmella. Becky Lynch gets the win. She gets the submission move, her signature submission move on Carmella, tapping her out. One, too happy about this match, man. You just had a 6-woman tag team match this past pay-per-view, literally 2 days ago, and you're doing it again with a different outcome. Like, it's 50-50 booking. I don't think it's making anybody look any stronger or any weaker.
Yeah, I was about to say definitely not a fan of the 50-50 booking. But I guess I think they're kind of using the segue into, like you said, next week with their well, this kind of jumps ahead a little bit, but you had, Natty and all the women eventually ended up in Shane's office talking about they want a title shot. And so Shane sets up a elimination 5-way match next week to determine the number 1 contender to face Naomi at Money in the Bank. So I guess that's kind of their way of kind of differentiating from this kind of welcome committee storyline. I'm pretty sure you're probably going to see the welcoming committee working together during that type match. But, I think it kind of spreads things out a little bit just so you kind of get a different outcome. But just to kind of bring back into the Money in the Bank thing just a little bit, I do personally feel like if they do have that match, part of me feels like Carmella is going to win.
What?
I do. I feel like if they do the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women, I think Carmella's going to end up winning with the assistance of James Ellsworth. Like, and to me, I know it sounds crazy, but when you look at it, they have had her get, a couple of quick wins over Naomi. Out of everybody else, she's kind of the least believable to see being championship material. But at the same time, I feel like with her and James Ellsworth, they would kind of play that perfect cowardly heel couple that you would hate. Like, I could see her drawing like a lot of heel heat. And just imagine like a moment, let's say you have at Survivor Series. I can picture it perfectly. Survivor Series, you have Charlotte versus Naomi. And Charlotte finally overcoming, beating Naomi for the championship. And then all of a sudden, Carmella coming in and cashing in on Charlotte with James Ellsworth and beat Charlotte. And it's like, I'm the woman, like, I'm the Smackdown Women's Champion. I can completely see that happening. Like, that would not be a stretch at all for me.
Yeah, definitely a stretch. I just don't like Carmella, man. But I see the logic in what you're talking about.
I'm telling you, like, I would not be surprised if Carmella is the one who wins it.
If that's the outcome, and if it ends this stupid stable thing they got going on, then I'm up for it because I can't deal with this. Next is Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. And in quick fashion, surprisingly, Sami Zayn beats Baron Corbin again.
Yep. But this time, he gets his ass beat afterwards. And oh man, did Baron Corbin destroy Sami.
Yep. And he definitely needed to do that Sunday, but I think they wanted to hold off on that for on SmackDown Live, and it was very effective. It was traditional Baron Corbin beatdown. He's a sore loser. He doesn't like losing. And of course, Sami Zayn gets that babyface treatment that we always love and talk about. I don't know, man. I just don't see where this is going.
I think he'll have a blow off eventually. I'm not exactly sure where it'll lead, but I know this. I feel like there's going to be a point to this one because it's SmackDown Live. It's not Raw, so I feel like there's going to be a point to this one.
Yeah, definitely. Next is actually a surprisingly. This is probably the most enjoyable thing I've seen the whole night of SmackDown Live. And that's dealing with the tag team division. Tyler Breeze and Fandango was backstage with Shane McMahon, ready to turn in their police badges for losing against the Usos on Backlash, and Shane McMahon gave them an opportunity to face the Usos in singles action. And the type of matches we got, I wasn't expecting, but they were a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, like I was just laughing at that where they were like, the Usos day one was more H than R. Oh man, that was actually funny. But yeah, I was surprised. You know, you got the Fashion Police, both with quick roll up wins over Jay and Jimmy Uso, which leads to the Fashion Police essentially calling out saying that they want another shot at the title, and the Usos, you know, they agreed to it, and so all of a sudden you had an impromptu tag match for the championships, in which it was a really good match, fun, competitive match that you saw eventually the Usos go over with a super kick. And, you know, at that point, you know, it was a good match because I really didn't think, you know, with the momentum that they had, I was really wondering, you know, who is actually going to win the match. But the Usos retained.
Yeah.
Usos retained.
I thought it was really well done. The way I think it was either Jay or Jimmy. Wow, I don't have it right now. But Fandango had hit the leg drop, and then one of the Usos did the splash.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I was like, that's all right. You can beat them individually, but together they're unstoppable.
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's what I got from that. And
Oh yeah, dudes are definitely unstoppable. Like they're a good tag team. That's why I can't wait, man. Like, I wonder because the Usos were back on Talking Smack. So I wonder. Well, they were back on Talk Smack and they were talking about tag teams. So I wonder if they're just gonna immediately start a program with the Usos or how that's going to work. I wonder to see where they're going to go with the tag division, because it's really heating up. It's
you talking
actually getting
about
really
New
good.
Day?
Yeah, especially once they add New Day in. I kind of wonder where the tag division is going to go from there.
Yeah. I'm thinking they really gonna pump things up. It's gonna really make people. What if they have a Money in the Bank tag team match? With all the tag teams they got now, you can insert the New Day. I really don't see what kind of program they're gonna have after Breezango and the Usos, unless they feud with the New Day. I don't see them going back to American Alpha. Like, we can have a tag team match between the Usos and the New Day, but do we really need to see that now, or does that need to wait until SummerSlam?
Yeah, that's a good question, but I don't know. Personally, at this point, I feel like with the New Day and with Breezango picking up so much speed, like I really just feel like at this point they might as well turn American Alpha heel, man. Like I said, have Shelton Benjamin come back, and then afterward, like have him join up with them and just turn them into like a heel faction. Because like they've kind of been forgettable. Even though granted they're great talents in the ring, like they are amazing talents in the ring. I'll never take that away from them. But as far as personality, like they have not stood out on the main roster at all. They should have probably stayed in NXT a little bit longer, to be honest.
Yeah, at least get probably another championship reign in NXT, and I don't think they really did their championship reign the first time justice. Against, I mean, they were hot winning it against Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, but they didn't really feud with anybody for real. I mean, they had that turmoil match, but I think they just dropped the ball towards WrestleMania season, and they lost a lot of steam. Of course, with them not even having a match on the card.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Next is the main event. AJ Styles and Nakamura versus Owens and Ziggler. You would think this would be the best main event of SmackDown in years, but in my honest opinion, bro, I was very disappointed in this match.
Yeah, like I think it was. I put like this compared to the tag match with Rollins and Joe and them. Like when I compared those two tag matches, I like this one better. But definitely, like it wasn't a barn burner. Um, but I feel like that's okay. Like it's an episode of SmackDown, especially after a pay-per-view. They don't have to put on like a 5-star tag team match right out. But I mean, it was a decent match overall. And then at the end, like after I thought it was good because you got two hot tags. You got a hot tag with AJ coming in, and then you also got a hot tag with Nakamura coming back in. But at the end, after the faces stand tall, you got to see a standoff between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. Like that was like a nice little vision. Hopefully, some foreshadowing for this year's upcoming WrestleMania. Because I put it like this. This is the way I feel. If they're going to go ahead and plan to have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, okay. But if they're going to turn around and on the SmackDown side of things, they're going to have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, I am all for it. I don't give a damn what they do with that Universal title. If that's going to be what SmackDown has as their main event of for WrestleMania, that is going to steal the show.
Yeah, it definitely will. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's the opponents they got him fighting against now, but Nakamura doesn't have that spark like he had in NXT, man. Like I don't know what it was in this match, but they were botching a lot of moves, man. Like some moves weren't really connected.
I think it's just a matter. I don't really think anything was really botched. I just think it's just a matter of them regaining that type of chemistry that they need on the main roster between everybody. But it's definitely just going to be a thing of, because even, I still feel like Nakamura's best match since he's been back on the main roster, well, since he's been in the WWE at all, I feel like his best match was probably, well, I'll say they're kind of tied. I'd say his match against Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
and then his first match against Samoa Joe. I feel like those two are kind of 1A, 1B as far as his best matches since being back, being on SmackDown. But I definitely think as he gets on the main roster, as his character develops more, I feel like we'll start seeing more in the ring from him overall. So I'm not too concerned about it. But I will probably say, now one thing I will say is, considering that Nakamura, as far as I know of, technically has been responsible for injuring 2 superstars, they might have had him dial back his offense a little bit, because he was responsible for Austin Aries' orbital fracture, as well as, I believe, Dawson's or whichever one of the Revivals injured. I believe he's also responsible for that fractured jaw. So I can see why they would probably have him dial it back a little bit. I hope it doesn't lead to like a permanent change to where he can't wrestle the style that he's used to wrestling. So I hope we do see him open up a little bit more. But I can see why, if they're having him dial it back, I can see why they're having him dial it back.
Yeah. It's I don't know, man. Like I said, to see AJ Styles and Nakamura team up for the first time, I really just expected a way better match than what we got. Like that Kinshasa kick at the end, when he strike at the end that he did to Owens, it just didn't have no spark to it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel it. Like, I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I think, like I said, it's a matter of give it time. Like I said, I just don't see them having them pull out, barn burners every single, night, especially when they're also trying to build up. Which, by the way, I just realized we skipped this.
What happened?
Jinder Mahal's
Oh my
celebration.
goodness!
How could we have skipped the Maharajas Celebration on
I can't
Smackdown?
believe we just skipped that. Did we skip it, or was we saving it for last?
I don't know. We'll say we're saving it for last. That's what we were saving. We were saving it for last because they went all out. Like the ring, the performers, like the damn fireworks. Like, I haven't seen that many fireworks.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was like WrestleMania level fireworks in a small ass arena. Like, I hope somebody didn't die because that was a lot of fireworks.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent promo too.
Oh yeah, I was like, the only thing is you can tell that Jinder isn't used to holding the title just yet because it kind of seems like he's always kind of fidgeting it and trying to make sure it's sitting in the proper place. Like, he's not used to holding the title just yet. And I know I've been watching some videos, and I know, like, specifically, I don't know what it is, but it seems like the British people, like any of the British other YouTubers that I've seen, which no disrespect to them because I like all of their work, but it seems like they have been like overly critical of Jinder Mahal, being like, oh, Jinder having this championship devalues the championship and all these other things. But I was about to say, if you really want to think about it, Jinder Mahal has had a better championship run than Bray Wyatt has already. It's like saying, I love Bray Wyatt, but I was like, Jinder's championship run in all of 2 days has been better. Well, 4 days now, but all of the 2 days that we've seen him with the championship has already been better than Bray with the championship. So I feel like, it's just a matter of giving him a chance. Like when JBL first won the WWE championship, like, he was a nobody. I mean, of course he played Cowardly Heel role, but literally by the time he got to WrestleMania, like, he was definitely a huge heel. Like, granted, the match that he had against Cena at WrestleMania definitely didn't do it justice for the amount of work that JBL put in, and the persona that he invented, like the JBL character that he invented literally has survived into his commentary now. Like, not Bradshaw, but JBL.
They don't know him as Bradshaw.
Like, every single time I see him, I low-key just want him to get into the ring and drop a wrestling god promo because that ending always used to get me. Because I am exactly what I say I am. I am a wrestling god. That shit was annoying when I was younger, but I appreciate that shit now because it was great.
Yeah, he was a great heel.
So, like, my thing is, like, I definitely feel like people need to give Jinder a chance. Like, let him get a run. You can definitely tell that the WWE, the machine, is behind him. So I put it like this: if Jinder falls flat, yes, you can blame Jinder. Everybody can say, "Oh, you guys are right." But at the end of the day, like, I know people are like, "Oh, it devalues the WWE championship." No, it doesn't. Like the WWE championship has survived runs from the Big Show, runs from Kane. Like, it's survived multiple runs of people who probably didn't deserve the championship. I was about to say, to be honest, Jinder having the championship has already been better than Randy Orton's championship run of recently. So
because it's fresh.
So it's like, my thing is, let it breathe. Let's see what happens. Now the interesting thing is, I saw a rumor. I don't know how true it is or not, but they were saying that that the plan is to let Jinder hold the WWE Championship until the Royal Rumble.
Oh, interesting.
So because personally, I can't lie. My personal mindset is I think that him holding the title longer is going to depend on his performance with everything. And I know they were saying, well, I was reading, they were saying this is barred, unless there's like some type of super major drop in the ratings and pay-per-view buys and all that type of stuff. But they're saying that the plan is to let him hold it until the Rumble. So if that's the case, that's going to be an interesting run, as far as nothing, horrible happens. The only thing I'm not excited about, this is the thing that I'm not excited about. They're saying that if he holds it until the Rumble, he's going to drop it to guess who?
AJ Styles.
Nope.
Nakamura?
Nope.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Say it. Say it, damn it.
Sami Zayn.
Oh, no.
Who else
Still
is
out
the
there.
babyface?
The ultimate babyface.
Ultimate babyface.
The face that runs the place. The 16 time.
God, no.
The 16
Oh,
time.
no. Oh,
Yes.
no.
They're saying that he
No.
would drop it to
Oh,
John Cena.
oh my God.
Do, 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 do.
Oh my God. So what you're telling me is they're gonna waste the 6-7 months of his championship run and still feed him to Cena. Oh my God. Please let the ratings drop.
See, this is my only thing though. I kind of feel like one or two things is going to happen. If they decide to do that and they drop it to Cena, I feel like at WrestleMania we'll probably end up getting John Cena versus Nakamura for the championship. That's like, I feel like that would be the only thing at WrestleMania that if I feel like if John Cena is going to beat him at the Royal Rumble and he's taking the championship into WrestleMania, I feel like that's the only match that you can put on, because even an AJ Styles versus John Cena match, even if it's at WrestleMania, I feel like it would be kind of stale. Just because we've seen it like 3-4 times beforehand. Even though if AJ Styles won the championship at WrestleMania, that would be his WrestleMania moment. That'd be great. But I personally feel like Nakamura winning the championship at WrestleMania would be a bigger story, especially if Nakamura is supposed to be, as people say, kind of like that John Cena draw level. Like, if that's what they're looking for. So if they want Nakamura to be at that John Cena draw level, then having him beat John Cena at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, I can understand that. I would give that credit. But the one thing I would say is, if that's the case, then they would have to make sure, like you said, like they don't want to waste Jinder's run as champion. So Jinder would have to have a notable match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't just not be on the card or being, in some type of stupid match, like squash match, something like. He'd have to be in a notable match on the main card. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if that's going to be the case. Like, personally, I looked at this as being a few months run, and it's even more believable because just based on other rumors that was supposed to happen, they're saying that the plan was for Randy to first they're saying Jinder was supposed to win, and then Randy was supposed to get the title back. Rusev was supposed to win Money in the Bank, and then Rusev was supposed to cash in on Orton as champion at SummerSlam. But now, since Rusev isn't in Money in the Bank, they're saying that the next rumor up is supposed to be Rusev versus Shane McMahon at
What?
SummerSlam. Yep, I don't know. I mean, you get to see Shane McMahon eat another loss. I feel like it'll be entertaining, but you know, it's kind of one of those things of like, and I'd rather see Rusev, you know, winning championships instead of beating up Shane McMahon. But let's see where it goes. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely if he holds the championship to SummerSlam, then I think you need the hottest baby face you're building up to that point to take that title. I promise you, bro. If John Cena gets 17 title reigns,
But even personally, the way I feel, man, if they're going to give John Cena the championship, like I don't want, like if he's going to win his 17th championship, I don't want it to be at the Royal Rumble. Like, to be honest, I'd at least rather him do it at WrestleMania or like a SummerSlam. Like, granted, I know the Royal Rumble is one of the big four, but like the Royal Rumble, I feel like is special because of the Royal Rumble match, not necessarily because of championships changing hands. So if Cena's going to go win 17, I'd rather him win 17, like, and it'd be something notable. Like, hell, I can't lie. I would rather John Cena end up somehow jumping ship to Raw and beating Brock Lesnar for number 17 than him beating Jinder Mahal for number 17. At least, you know, make it something kind of feat worthy and necessary. Like, I don't know.
yeah, because
But you know, it's all speculation right now, so we never know what's going to happen in the future.
man, you should have never told me that, man.
Hey, man, you know, I'm just here to pass on the news, pass on the rumors, as I get them. You know, see what happens, when and where.
I guess, man. But Jinder Mahal, man, I hope he has a wonderful title reign. He cut quite a promo before the exposures went off, and he looks like a champion, man. So hopefully they do him justice the next couple of weeks. Either the rumor you state is going to come true, or he's going to be a transitional champion.
Yeah.
Both of them does not seem good for Jinder, but this is probably the best his career is possibly going to get. So I hope he takes full advantage, despite what the results may be.
Yeah, I mean, despite what the results will be, man, this will boost up Jinder's career from years now. Like, even if, you know, Jinder was to end up getting released at the end of this year, like the fact that he held the WWE Championship, even the TNA would, I'm pretty sure, offer him big money to come in there and will probably throw their championship on top of him. You know, so I feel like at the end of the day, this is going to work out in Jinder's favor. And I mean, hopefully, you know, the whole thing that WWE is trying to do as far as getting, you know, more attention in the Indian market, I hope it works out. Personally, I hope they're able to break into the market, like, you know, start doing shows in India and different things like that. I feel like this. I hope that the one, I'm not necessarily a fan of this. Like, you want to tap into the market by putting, you know, by appeasing to them. But if they're going to do it, I at least hope it works out. So see what happens.
Yeah. I think they're really going to capitalize on this Jinder thing, and he's a champion on TV right now that we can see every week and see him develop. And right now, he's the driving force of SmackDown right now, and I hope he takes full advantage of it. But yeah, man, that was our SmackDown recap, and just as you can tell by enthusiasm of the show, it was definitely better. Like, it was way more entertaining. It gave us what we needed, and it's building towards the future, and a future where there are more stars built that can take the place of these part-time people. And I think that's the direction they need to be if they want this product to stay strong and thriving. So, any final thoughts, man?
They need to add like an extra 30 minutes to SmackDown. I don't want to see them go to a full hour of SmackDown. I mean, granted, with as stacked as SmackDown's roster is and as good as the writing has been, I feel like if they gave SmackDown a third hour, they could make it extremely better than Raw's. But I'd at least say an additional 30 minutes. That way, they can kind of highlight some of these other guys like Ty Dillinger a little bit, because this is the second week Ty Dillinger hasn't been on a SmackDown show. Same with Aiden English. Trying to think some of the other guys. Trying to think who are some of the other guys. Like some of the other tag teams, like the Colognes, the Ascension, American Alpha. Like those three teams haven't been on there. And once the New Day jumps in, you would think that might kind of slow down a little bit of the momentum of Breezango. I hope not, but you would think that's kind of what would happen a little bit during that whole situation. So, I feel like they could benefit, like I said, from another 30 minutes, another hour, so that way they can fully utilize all the people that they have on their roster to their fullest, develop some of these newer guys, and make it a better product.
Definitely. Yeah, man, I think that was a great way to end it. Thank you all for joining us. I think we probably exceeded our time limit again, but I think we're definitely making strides to cut down the time even more than the previous show. But yeah, man, we're just two wrestling fans out here talking about how we feel about the product, and it's a growing product, and it's been thriving for hell almost 30 to 40 years, mainly with the WWE, and we just wanted to see it continue further, and hopefully, us talking about it can get more people interested and hopefully view the product. Who knows? Maybe some wrestlers might hear our thoughts, or
some low level writer might be out there listening to us and might catch some ideas. Who knows?
Who knows? Anything can happen, man. I've seen success stories from anywhere, where people just putting their thoughts on the internet. But like I said, thank you all for joining and watching. Especially to those who actually view this video. Even though we're live right now, there will be, a recap video if you're not able to see everything right now. But we definitely appreciate everything and everyone who's watching to be able to do this. And if you really enjoy our podcast, leave a comment, like, share, tell your friends about it, subscribe. We're amateurs at this, but we're still trying to build it up. Hopefully produce more content. We're sticking mainly to wrestling podcasts for now, but who knows, we might venture out into other sports or forms of entertainment. But right now, we're just strictly sticking with wrestling. And hopefully y'all can come back next week and hear our thoughts on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw again.
All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
All right. See y'all later.